Caution, the content in this podcast is so spicy, it'll give you heartburn all night long. Listener discretion is advised. Your episode starts in 3, 2, 1. Welcome aboard the Lusty Library podcast, my fellow smut slut. This is your Captain Joey speaking, and today's flight will be fueled by martinis and smut. Today's destination is a big, brooding, kilt-wearing, grumpy Scottish billionaire with continuing service to a happily ever after. This episode's weather forecast is predicted to be hot and steamy due to the gale force enemies to lovers trope coming in from the northeast. Thank you for your attention while important safety information is reviewed. In preparation for your episode's enjoyment, please ensure to fasten your seatbelts, your adult beverages are properly chilled, and any coworkers or small children are safely stored in the overhead bins or are placed completely under the seat in front of you. If this is your first time joining us, let me tell you what to expect on today's journey. Each episode, we pick a romance novel that none of us have read before. Our in-flight drink service includes a signature cocktail that pairs smashingly with our book. And because our ride most likely will hit some turbulence in the next 60 minutes or so, a barf bag has been supplied in the seat front pocket in front of you. Please direct your attention to the flight attendants in the cabin. In first class, we have the beautifully befuddling Birdie.
I am befuddling, even to my own self.
And in business class, because she is all business, we have the laughing, lawful Lex.
Man, I can't even be your co-pilot? Jeez.
Oh, shit, yeah.
You're in business class.
Wow, you put her in fucking business class.
I see how it is. Okay.
Oh, shit, but she
Okay.
is all business. That's good.
Yeah.
That's good.
You can only have one
I
co-pilot
know.
on the plane.
I know.
Initially, it was going to be my co-pilots, and then I was like, well, that's really a tight cockpit. Today's in-flight entertainment is Keep Me by Sara Cate. If you've never heard of this book, let me give you the summary. Their marriage of convenience is anything but. All Killian Barclay wants to do is to be left the hell alone. He's had enough heartache to last a lifetime, and he has no more need for love, earning him the reputation of a broody Scot and eventually turning his famous ancestral home into a den of iniquity. It doesn't take long for tales of his raunchy house parties to reach the rest of the family, though, inspiring them to hatch a plan to shake Killian out of his routine. New Yorker's Sylvie Devereaux is tough as nails. As a daughter of famous yet neglectful parents, she's grown a hard shell and keeps everyone at arm's length. So when she sneaks into Barclay Manor during a trip to Scotland to get a glimpse of a famous heirloom, she doesn't anticipate facing off against the brutish, maddening Highlander who lives there, and she certainly didn't expect to ever see the bastard again. Yet just weeks later, she's approached by Killian's family with a proposal. Move to Scotland and marry Killian to improve his playboy reputation, and after 1 year, she'll walk away with $10 million. Sylvia agrees, even knowing that their plan is more deceptive than she realizes. But as she grows closer to Killian and the end of the year together, she has to. Is the love of a good man with a dark soul worth keeping, or is she willing to break Killian's heart now and well and truly hers? I mean, that summary gave the whole fucking book away.
I was just thinking that. I would have been so fucking pissed if I read that summary.
I mean, the only thing that didn't give away is what's really happening with his family and what's at stake.
So you know what? I think we need to feel like a Scot today. So, of course, our signature cocktail has to have Scotch whiskey in it.
Yeah,
But not just one, 2 Scotch whiskeys.
Mm.
And I think the name of this signature cocktail fits perfectly because they are the cure to each other's heartache.
They really are. I'm crying already.
And probably after you drink this cocktail, the penicillin, it may additionally bring you to tears. But make sure you visit us at the Lusty Library Podcast on Facebook and Instagram, or the Lusty Library Pod on Blue Sky for this recipe. All right, ladies, let's have a drink. What do they say in Scotland, though, to cheers? I don't even know. I should have Googled that.
Let's fucking find out.
Cilantro?
Slancha.
Cilantro.
Yeah.
Wow.
Good call. Good call.
Yeah?
11% Scottish. Here I go.
All right,
Yeah.
bring out your 11%.
It's really fucking good.
Ooh, that is delish. Oh, I even like it.
I'm
Joey likes it.
surprised.
No, that is good. You know me, I like to gear on the side of sweet, but this is just right.
I think it's the honey syrup.
Yeah.
Oh,
Ooh, that's
shit.
good.
So it's funny you said there's 2 scotches in there, but one's a blended scotch, so you could have many more scotches.
So
in
we could
there.
be having 84 scotches in this
You got
cocktail.
it. I think it's like up to 8 scotches can be blended in a blended
Huh?
scotch.
Okay.
Why choose? This is fucking good.
So I'm very excited to talk about this book. We have a bunch of Sara Cate books on our list that people have recommended to us, specifically her Salacious Players Club. But I got to tell you, I picked this book for a reason.
Okay.
Just like Bertie is obsessed with Italian culture, I am obsessed with big burly Scotsmen.
Yeah.
I am just delighted to find this out about you.
Yeah. This is actually not tracking with what I know about your
Really?
typical. Yeah.
Like, I
Huh.
didn't find this out about you until, I don't know, maybe a year ago.
Really?
We've known each other for so long.
Yeah.
And I'm like, dude, how have we not gone there? How have you not read the Outlander series?
Oh, I have.
Oh, yeah.
I have. I just didn't make it all the way through. I've read the first book. I watched, I think, the first 2 seasons of the series, and then it just kind of fell off.
That's all you need to watch.
But make it through the first 3 books and you'd stop.
Okay. When I saw that listed in this book, knowing we had tons of Sara Cate on our list, I was like, oh, this is it. This is where we're going.
Can I also tell you why I was really excited that you chose this one amongst the other Sara Cate novels?
Oh, boy.
Because the cover's really pretty.
Oh, my God.
It is. It basically is a plaid tartan with pink and
Pink.
greens. It's beautiful.
It's so
It really is.
good. It's a really beautiful cover. I like that it feels like it has its own authentic look to the cover. I can't lie. Kind of fucking sick and tired of seeing fucking Fabio on the cover of a book. Like,
Oh, like a muscly guy with
Yeah,
tattoos.
I'm
and-
over it. I'm over it. Like, show me something else.
Oh, I'm not over it.
I
It's
know
okay.
you're not over
I
it.
do like the variation,
I know.
but I will never be over a half-naked man on the front of a book.
And see, I'm here sitting here going, I wonder if they used the right plaid for his clan.
No, they didn't. They said orange and green, I think, in the book.
Yeah,
Mhm.
I think you're right. Okay, so this book opens up. We have Sylvia and her boyfriend, Aaron, who are outside of Barclay Manor in Scotland.
Mm-hmm.
And they're kind of having a little tiff because they went all the way out there because Aaron is looking for a typewriter that his great-grandfather wrote a novel on that is located in Barclay Manor. They flew 13 hours, drove all the way there, and Aaron's not going to go up to the door to knock to look for this typewriter.
Fucking weakling. I hated
What
him
the-
from the first
Yes.
minute.
So why the hell did you even go out there if you were going to do
Exactly.
nothing about it?
Just walk up, have a little knock.
Yeah.
Tell your story.
Anybody would let you in if you told that story.
Mm.
Well, Sylvie's a little bit reckless, isn't she?
Yeah, she is.
She's kind of outlined as being a bit of a wild child.
I think she was also just pissed at him at this point and
Yes.
decided she was going to do this in a different way.
So she sees a woman walking out of one of the doors of the manor, and they're like, oh, somebody lives there. Well, the doors aren't locked. So Sylvie decides she's just going to walk in the fucking house and go find the typewriter on her own. And she does, and the house is quiet. She doesn't hear anything. It smells lived in. She's smelling this woodsy scent within the house, very masculine.
Mm.
She goes and she finds the typewriter, pulls out her cell phone, snaps a picture of it, and then all of a sudden, she hears, "What are you doing in my house?" I can't do a Scottish accent.
Just don't.
Basically, she runs into Killian, who's saying, "This is my house. Did my sister send you? What the fuck are you doing here?" And she's trying to explain herself. And let me tell you, she does not back down 1 second to this guy.
I just could not believe that she was so bold, that she was just like, how dare you, like, be so aggressive with me? She just fucking walked into this guy's house.
Yeah.
And then she is telling him that he's being aggressive or whatever with her. Like,
But what would you do? He is yelling and screaming at your face. He's a gigantor. He is double her size. She's a thing you can pick up, put in your pocket, and still have room for Tic Tacs. What would you say to him? Oh, I'm sorry, sir. Or would you give him hell right back?
no, I'd be like, I'm so sorry. I was just being a stupid idiot. I just wanted to come in here to see this dumb typewriter because my boyfriend's family does here and he's too much of a pussy and he's outside in the car. And I just wanted to come in here and do this thing. And I'm really sorry. I'm really sorry. I'm really sorry. I'm going to leave now. Please just let me leave.
I can so see that conversation going on with you and him.
Yeah.
I would have knocked on the door.
Well, okay. First of all, yes, I would have just knocked on the fucking door.
And Sylvie and I would have been spirit animals because I would have just walked right in, taken the picture, asked for forgiveness later, and then when he came at me in that aggressive manner, I probably would have yelled right back. I mean, that follows my MO completely.
Absolutely.
So they're yelling and screaming at each other. He grabs her cell phone and he stomps the ever-loving shit out of it and breaks it.
Yeah.
And he starts to walk away.
Fair enough.
Fair.
Well, okay. But she's like, hey there, wait a minute. You owe me a new cell phone. You just broke my cell phone.
So fucking bold. Can't even. She asks him for a new fucking cell phone.
Well, he broke her cell phone.
She walked into his house. Like,
Well,
the fuck?
To me, this is like the worst kind of like caricature of an American
Yes.
privileged New Yorker.
Yes.
absolutely.
And he even says to her, all girls in America like this or whatever. And she's like, no. What the fuck?
I know.
Yeah, it took me a little bit to get on board with Sylvie.
So she leaves the house in one piece. They fly back to the States. And it looks like Sylvie's got some shit happen in her life. So you hear her trying to get a hold of her parents, who are famous artists. Girl's out of money.
Daddy, I need more money.
Yeah.
I mean, okay, it was really, I don't know, it was painful.
Initially, when we got through those couple of chapters and, you had heard about her and her boyfriend, the situations of her asking for money, what was your impression of her in these first couple of chapters?
Oh.
Lex, I am looking at you because when I read this book, I was like, oh my God, I can't wait to hear what Lex thinks about Sylvie.
Oh my God, spoiled rich kid. Like, boo fucking who. Get over it. Like, get a job. Jesus Christ. It took me a while to get on board with Sylvie. And when you find out her backstory, okay, then you realize she's just not equipped with life in some ways. Fine.
At this point, after she made the phone call to her parents and talking about her money woes and her not having a job and all this, I got to tell you, I was a little concerned. I'm like, oh, if I don't connect with the FMC, then this book's going to go completely downhill for me because it happened, unfortunately, in the last book. I didn't connect with the FMC, didn't like her. I'm like, oh, fuck, here we go again. But then the story starts to progress. She's got a really great friend, Morgan, and they're really close to each other. And
Is she great?
well, come to find out, after she has a conversation trying to get a hold of her parents who have now financially cut her off, she goes to her friend Morgan's house. Goes right upstairs. I mean, they've been friends for a very long time. And it sounds like Morgan is this New York elite.
Yeah.
Doesn't have to work. Has a penthouse. Made of money. She walks in and she hears the sounds of people having sex. And then she looks down and sees a pair of men's shoes. And she's like, oh, great taste, because I bought those for my boyfriend, Aaron. And the more she looked at the shoes, she realized the scuffs were in the same place.
Dun, dun, dun.
And that they were tied in the same manner that Aaron did when he just whipped them off his feet without untying them. So she got really curious. What does she do?
She has a hot cup of coffee that she spent her last $3 on. Goes into the bedroom. They're fucking. And she throws that scalding coffee on his naked ass.
Yeah.
So is that the moment that you started to like her?
Yes.
Of course
Because-
it is.
Because all of a sudden, the facade of her being this rich, elitist princess started to come down for me. And I'm like, ugh. Oh, wait a minute. Under that leather miniskirt of yours, you've got some balls of steel, don't you? And now you're letting them come out. So for her to make that decision at that moment, I was like, okay, all right. There's got to be more layers to her than what I'm initially getting right off the bat.
See, and for me, it wasn't that. There was a line as she was going to Morgan's, and she says something about like she's going there for comfort because she can't pick the number of times where she's pulled Morgan off the floor after, you know, a disastrous night of drinking and whatever, and she helps heal her back to health, and then she gets something in return as far as like friendship. But it sounds like to me in that like little snippet, they were outlining that that's a toxic relationship too. And that's when I was like, oh, so she's surrounded by toxic relationships her whole life. Okay.
Something deeper is going on.
How do
here.
you learn to be a functioning human being in that kind of environment? So it's like money doesn't buy everything. All right. I'll see where this is going.
Money doesn't buy everything, for
Yeah.
sure.
So here she is at the apartment that her and Aaron share. She's selling off as much of his stuff as she can
That was
so
great.
she can eat. Now there's an eviction notice on her door. Her parents basically haven't even talked to her. She's only talked to their assistant, Enid, who's a cunt, by the way, just rude to her completely. And her life is falling apart. And she gets a knock on her door. And the woman says, in a Scottish accent, Sylvie Devereaux, I need to speak with you. And she's like, oh, that accent sounds familiar. She says her name is Anna Barclay. She's Killian's sister. She's like, excuse me, what?
Who?
So she lets Anna in, and pretty much more or less the entire premise of the story begins here. Killian's a bad boy who's living in the family home, has a really bad reputation. The family wants Sylvie to marry Killian to better his reputation for $10 million.
Where's my fucking contract? I would like a $10 million contract to marry a Scottish bad boy.
Okay, so for a year, you have to be fake married to this person and keep this bad boy from fucking anything else.
Where's the sign-up list? Can I be first?
I can be highly persuasive.
Yes. Handcuffs work really well in making sure people do what they need to do. But there's a little twist to this contract. After the year is up, the manor will then move to the wife's name. And the family wants Sylvie to give up ownership of the home to their aunt once that year is up to get it out of Killian's hands. And that's the most important stipulation. And if she doesn't fulfill that contract and sign over that manor, she owes double of what they were going to pay Sylvie. She doesn't have a pot to piss in. She barely has the $1.25 to buy a package of ramen right now. Where's she going to find $20 million to pay back after breaking this contract?
Yeah.
Right. But that's not what she's thinking about. She's just thinking, of course, it's going to be fine, and
Yeah.
she'll get $10 million.
But the
For
crazy part is she
a year.
doesn't agree off the bat.
Yeah.
She
Mhm.
takes Anna's business card and thinks this fucking plan is far-fetched. Like, who would ever do anything like that?
That's true. She did.
Yeah.
Be like, yeah, no.
Until she goes to visit her parents at their gallery.
Yep.
And you see what kind of relationship these people have.
The second her mother started talking, I was like, oh, I know which way this is going to go right now.
Mm-hmm.
And I was pumped.
Completely toxic. Part of it, though, I think the way it was being portrayed in the beginning of the book is you couldn't tell who was at fault in this really bad familial relationship.
Yeah.
You couldn't tell if it was Sylvie always wanting the attention, like the mother was saying, or it was the mother not giving the attention, not being nurturing. I think at that point in the book, you were like, all right, they're both at fault here. This is the whole situation. They both suck. Sylvie goes up to have a conversation with her mother in the office, and her mother's like, being very rude to her, what do you want?
Yeah.
And the only option Sylvie has is she ends up telling her she's marrying this man and moving to Scotland to be with him. But at that moment, like, part of me said she's doing this because she wants to elicit a reaction out of her mother.
Mhm.
She wants her mother to say, well, where are you going? Who's this man? You can't stay here. I love you. Where you go? Nothing.
Actually, she was like, sure, you're doing that.
Yeah, she doesn't believe her.
No. She just thinks she's doing it for attention again. Yeah, she kind of is.
I mean, I don't think she's doing it for attention. She's trying to just get an emotional response from her mother that leans on some semblance toward love.
This is a thing for me, just in literature and in life. There are some people who are just not meant to be parents. Sylvie's mom? Nope.
Sylvie has no other options.
No.
She calls Anna, and a week later, here she shows up in Scotland, now at Barclay Manor. Anna picks her up at the airport. They go to the manor. They walk in the front door, and there's music playing. There's fun things happening. Really hard to tell. So Anna goes in, and she goes to the library and finds a naked woman there who just happens to be a staff member of the house.
Love it.
Anna's pissed off, so she runs upstairs screaming Killian's name. Sylvie goes to follow her, and all she sees is Killian's naked backside going into the bathroom,
Love it.
telling Anna, "You weren't invited here. What are you doing here? Get out of my damn house." Even though Killian knew they were coming. And then here comes this disheveled, hot mess woman who's doing her version of a walk of shame out of his bedroom, who just happens to be another paid member of the house staff.
Yep.
I mean, were we expecting any other introduction?
Surprise! Welcome to the Barclay Manor.
Yeah, or reintroduction.
Yeah.
Like,
Daylight introduction.
right,
Yeah.
right.
And immediately, the dynamic between Sylvie and Killian is enemies 100%. They do not like each other. They're calling each other horrible names. She's calling him a brute. He's calling her a cow. They're just two individuals that you're like, I don't fucking see anything happening here. Or, oh, this is the inkling of the beautiful forest fire the two of you are going to create as this starts to burn up.
That's such a Scottish derogatory term, you cow.
I loved
Yes.
it.
Yeah,
I know.
yeah.
Wench,
Yeah.
cow.
Yep.
Yeah.
Yep.
But we did get a little bit of an inkling of it because Sylvie asked Anna when she came to New York to try to convince her to sign this contract, why me? There's a million billion people in this world. Why me? And Anna said, I didn't think it was a good idea, but he did.
Mm-hmm.
That was replaying in the back of my mind the entire time.
He couldn't stop thinking about her.
He couldn't stop thinking about her, whether or not it was for the supposed reason that he says, because she was the rudest, most entitled, crazy bitch he's ever met. And he didn't want to feel anything for this person, so he wouldn't feel bad about hurting their feelings and then cutting them off in 12 months.
I believe the statement is 50% true, and 50% is she would be someone to challenge him.
Yes.
And I think he likes that. He doesn't want someone who's going to be docile.
Right.
Unless it's in the bedroom.
Well, sure.
We'll get a little bit more on that as we go down the road here. He was very attracted to that. He was very enthralled by how much of a spitfire she was. On the first day, they agreed that they're going to stay out of each other's way. But Sylvie pretty much threatens him and says, you better keep your dick in your pants because I am not losing my $10 million because you want to go stick your dick wherever you want to. Because one of the big stipulations of the contract is they both have to remain faithful for the entire year. So if Killian decides he wants to go screw a woman, Sylvie's going to lose her money. She's not having that. Fast forward a week. Dum, dum, da-dum. Everything's moving fast. They're getting married.
Worst wedding ever.
They decided they're just going to do it in the backyard. Killian's like, no, I don't want to go anywhere. We're doing it in the backyard.
Honestly, it sounded really great.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah. Like the premise of it is lovely.
Yeah.
It was the execution of it that was just, how awkward would any of that been?
So awkward, but I can't lie. I just looked up the Barclay family tartans, and I'm looking at the dress tartan plaid, which she does describe in the book. And damn, I just can't deny the fact that that moment that she describes when she's coming down the stairs and she sees him in his plaid and he turns around and for a second there's a flash in his eyes of something.
Mm-hmm.
And she's like, I forgot this was going to involve a man in a kilt.
Kilt.
Uh-huh. Oh, yeah.
Absolutely.
I love it.
There's-
love it.
Nothing hotter
Yeah.
than
Oh, yeah.
full dress kilt.
Oh,
So I think this is kind of the first time that her and Killian maybe have a bit of some softer moments that are forced upon them. So they have to have a quick little kiss and they're exchanging rings and she sees the size of his hand in comparison to the size of her hand and how delicate her hand is in his big, strong hands. And they have to take pictures after and he puts his arm around her. So the chemistry is starting to build and you're like, come on, come on. Let's get this heated.
Get the fucking bellows out for this fire. We are going to make this into a forge. It's going to be so fucking hot. Yes. I really like she described Killian as grinning in the wedding photos. She turned and she could see him grinning after he's just like, fuck it. I loved that moment where she was just like, oh, he's nervous too. He hates this too.
Yeah.
We're in this together. And all of a sudden you're like, trauma bonding.
Yeah.
Like they're going through it together.
There's a super cute line in the book about that. I loved this so much. We're all a mess, but the trick is to find someone who thinks your mess is a masterpiece.
Oh.
Okay, so right now, my eyes are watering up. The writing in this book, to me, was very impactful. I really love the flow in the writing.
It was a
style of
really
this.
easy read because of that.
So during the reception, she's met the whole family. There's Killian, who was the oldest. There's Anna. There's Lachlan and Declan. So she runs into Killian's brother, and basically the two of them starts talking that this is a really good thing. You know, they kind of think that maybe Killian hasn't been out of the house in a while. And Sylvie's like, oh, all right, a while. What does that mean? 10 years. What?
Yeah.
You mean he hasn't left this house in 10 years?
I mean, listen, if I had Barclay Manor with 60 acres and gardens and things that roll down to a river and beehives and horses, I don't think I'd ever leave the fucking house.
No, and house
either.
staffed. Yeah, where would you need to go?
I would never leave.
No, there's no
But-
need. You have everything there.
But, right.
But, I mean, it's not just that it's a beautiful place that he loves the land. He just can't leave.
Yes.
Yeah.
He's
Right.
got his own trauma.
And we find out as the story progresses that it's a thing. So the wedding night is over. Anna comes in to say goodbye. They've put Killian to bed. He had a lot to drink.
Oh.
Sylvie decides she's going to soak in the tub. So while she's soaking in the tub in her room, she hears bing, bing, boom, crack, smash. She's like, nah, not doing it. Not going. Fuck it. His house. Who the hell cares? And then all of a sudden her mind starts to take over and like, oh, what if something happened? What if he's dead? Do I get my money if he dies? Like what?
Shit.
Yeah.
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 So she throws on her robe, goes downstairs. She goes into the kitchen, finds broken glass all over the floor, whiskey poured all over the countertop.
That's the true tragedy.
Why waste the whiskey? Because you know he's not drinking the cheap shit.
No, he was drinking like a 50-year-old scotch.
Yeah. She goes into the living room, finds all the chairs overturned, and she finds Killian sitting on the floor with his back to the wall
Ugh.
and traces of blood all over the place.
Yeah.
He's passed out.
Giving
Bottle
me
of whiskey.
flashbacks to an ex-boyfriend. This is the worst thing ever. Ugh.
I'm sorry.
Fucking nightmare.
Throughout the scene, you watch her say, oh, I don't care to, oh my God, what if he dies? To getting ready to go back upstairs, then pulls a chair over, puts his hand on her lap to make sure that he's not going to bleed out, to putting his hand down, trying to go back upstairs, immediately coming back downstairs and deciding she's going to clean the wound for him. In the middle of her cleaning the wound, he wakes up and says, what the fuck are you doing here? Like, get the hell away from me. And she's like, I'm saving you. To then going ahead and basically bandaging the guy up and cleaning everything up.
Yeah.
When she's giving her inner monologue during this scene, you are torn back and forth, but it's not ever for any actual sweet intent that she cares about him, except for there's this one moment where she's holding his hand in her lap and she opens the fingers and then they slowly curl back. And she has this very, very sweet moment where she's just sitting with his hand and she does this very like loving, peaceful thing with it. And then she's like, well, at least he's not dead. I'll still get my $10 million.
I think that's the moment that made me realize that in her head, she was rationalizing it as I am doing this all for the money.
Right.
Yeah. It started at the wedding.
It started even before the wedding. Yeah. Even before the wedding, she goes, we have something in common. We both hate everyone. Okay, fine. We're going into this with something in common.
Mm-hmm.
And I really do think that moment that she realized that, he hates everyone just as much as I do. Okay, maybe we will get along in this like kind of weird, fucked up way.
Yeah, at least in a companionship kind of way.
Yes.
Like it won't be hard to go through 12 months with somebody that you're like, okay, we're on the same level. We get it.
Right.
So after this situation happens, they stay the fuck out of each other's way after that night. And an entire month passes where the two of them are in this gigantic manor and have no conversations. They're just kind of living their own lives and stuck there. Anna comes to the house and makes a big deal about, okay, everybody knows you're married. The announcements have gone out. You need to be seen in public. People need to see you two as a couple. And of course, Killian's like, nah, there's no need for us to go out. We're going to have a dinner party here at the house. And he was like, no. We've heard about your parties. We, at this point, as the reader, don't really know too much about it. We hear things would get a little wild. And Killian's like, no, this is just going to be a dinner party with friends.
They're all married now. They're married with kids. It's not like the old days.
Just my friends from uni.
Yep.
So
what I would give to have a house with 16 bedrooms so I could have all my friends come over and stay the weekend.
Only.
Do you have that
if
many
you
friends?
have the staff to keep it clean.
Of course.
I don't have 16 friends to call over.
That's
I
a
might
lot.
be able to find them if I had 16 bedrooms.
If you had the bedrooms, you'd make more friends to fill the bedrooms on
I'm like
weekends.
a koi fish. You know, I grow to fill my bowl.
There you go.
Anna becomes on board with this, and Sylvie's like, well, you know, in front of other people, you can't keep calling me a cow, and I can't keep calling you an ogre or a brute. So then they start talking about pet names they're going to call each other.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, my God. Love, darling, blah, 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 blah. Then Sylvie asks him, what is Gaelic for my love? And he says, Mograi.
Mm-hmm.
It gives me goosebumps just hearing it.
Yeah.
Oh.
And she doesn't end up calling him that.
Someone's crying again.
He calls
Let me get the
her.
tissues. Hold on.
I know.
They're behind you.
That should have been a prerequisite to our boarding announcement. Have your box of tissues
I was
on your
gonna
tray
say
table.
it, but I was laughing too hard about the barf bag.
My love is
Mograi.
Mograi.
Yeah.
I just like
It's
you cry.
pretty good. I will have to tell you, of course, audiobook first pass, Kindle book my second pass. The narrator for this is absolutely amazing.
The male narrator.
Uh-huh.
And you know we love him.
Yes, we do, because he was boating on Hunt on Dark Waters.
Yes.
Uh-huh.
And you know what's funny is I only recognized him when he does his American woman voice.
Uh-huh.
Because I thought, wait a minute, ding, ding, ding. I've heard that voice before.
He does a great American woman voice.
And it was really funny because I was like, oh my God, where have I heard that? And it was really great because I don't know if you remember when we read Hunt on Dark Waters, he does this more like Welshy type accent.
Mm-hmm, mm-hmm.
And we were all like, what is it? What is it? And this time I looked him up and it was just, I was like, oh, this explains everything. I believe he's British.
He is British.
And so he's able to flex his accent to do many of the UK Isle type sounds so nicely.
Yeah.
Mm.
Oh, yeah, he sounds great.
So when you heard him go Mograi, I was like, Back 15 seconds. Back 15 seconds.
Play, rewind, play. Yes.
I'll have to borrow that.
Oh, yeah.
All the friends from uni come to the house, wives, spouses. We first get to meet his best bud from uni, Liam, who's kind of just looking around the house going, are we ready? What? Wait a minute. Where's the usual stuff that's here?
Because he's the only single one.
He's the only single one.
Yep.
He's like, I'm waiting for the hot stuff to start.
Yeah, he was waiting for the women or whatever. But they never got into detail of what this stuff we were looking for was. So then there's this magical moment. Killian is downstairs with Liam, and Sylvie comes walking down the stairs. And usually she's wearing an oversized sweatshirt and jeans and her boots and a leather jacket. And here she comes down in this tight-fitting sheath dress. She's got lipstick on.
She is wearing a green satin dress, and I want you to picture this with her red, strawberry
Very blonde,
red
yeah.
hair.
Mm-hmm.
Oh,
Yeah.
love the
Yeah.
image.
Yeah.
Hugging in all the right ways.
Yep.
And you can tell she's now wearing a
A
bra.
bra.
Uh-huh. But there is a moment there where it kind of, she takes his breath away.
Yeah.
And his buddy Liam is like, dude, that's your wife?
Yeah. And he's like, yeah.
And then, dude, you Sharon?
Yeah.
Yeah. Immediately right off the
Right.
bat.
Yep.
This is where the interesting parts of the book happen. You know, you kind of start to find out that a lot of sharing happens at Killian's parties, especially with his friends.
Mm-hmm.
He is looking at his buddy Angus's wife, Claire, and remembering that he's had her. And Angus doesn't know he's had her. It sounds like this happens all the time. And Killian is like very protective throughout that night as Liam is kind of making moves on things. He's hovering around Sylvie. So for some reason, like instantly, even though this is a contract marriage, all of a sudden Killian is like changing his framework. And he feels like this woman is something to him.
But he's also doing the same back and forth dance that she does when she
Yes.
goes to bandage his hand up.
Yeah.
I really loved getting the inner monologue for him and for her
Mhm.
because they were both doing the same back and forth, back and forth, back and forth. She had about 10 million reasons to go more back than he did,
Yeah.
which we do see as we move forward in the book, where she's just getting pulled back by the 10 million reasons.
Mm-hmm.
Which was painful, though, because eventually I was just like, Sophie, I don't care about the money anymore. I want you to stop caring about it. I need you to be on board with him.
But he was waffling too. And
Yes.
so, okay, with Liam, he's like, yes, I am sharing. Go ahead. I don't care. And then spends the rest of the night cock blocking him.
Yeah.
After he sees her.
The end of the first night, when Killian sees that Liam's sitting a little too close to Sylvie, he drags her by the arm and says, we're going to bed.
Yeah.
Even though she has her own room, he is making her sleep in his room.
Which, fair enough. They should have talked about it in advance.
Uh-huh.
Yeah. Like,
You can't be sleeping in a separate room because when your friends see that, they're going to be like, what the fuck are you doing?
I loved it, though, because he comes out of the bathroom and she's in the bed and she's barricaded pillows between the middle of the bed.
Yeah.
And he's like, if she thinks those fucking pillows are going to stop me from doing something, she is wrong.
Yeah.
I've done that before.
Have you?
That's amazing.
I went on a vacation with a guy who we were supposed to just be friends and supposed to be sleeping in separate areas, and got to the place and there was just one big king-size bed. And I looked at him and I'm like, oh, you think so, do you? And he's like, no, that's all they had. I'm like, sure.
Yeah. Trope.com.
And yes, there was a barricade of pillows.
Killian wakes up the next day. Sylvie is gone. He looks out the windows. All of his buddies are playing rugby outside. All the women are on the patio. He goes downstairs and is like, okay, so if I was really this woman's husband, what would I do?
Loved that moment.
So funny.
Yeah.
It was fucking adorable to me. And he goes over and he gives her a kiss on the forehead and all the women are swooning.
Oh. They're newlyweds.
And deep down inside, you're saying to yourself, oh, he wants to do that. He wanted to touch her, be near her, put his lips somehow on her. So the day progresses, and all of a sudden, Killian gets this brilliant idea. My buddy Liam's interested in Sylvie. If I can get Sylvie to sleep with Liam, then we can go tit for tat, and I can sleep with whoever I want. And then we'll keep it under wraps. We won't tell anybody, and we'll make it through the next 11 months together.
So easy. It's going to be fine.
Until the moment later that night comes, everybody's drunk.
He's pissed drunk, and he gets pulled into this closet by this woman. And we think, as the reader, for a hot minute, as does he in his drunken stupor, that it's Sylvie pulling him into this closet and being like, oh my God, make out with me. Like, come on, let's do this. And then she goes, I've missed you. And he's like, huh? Something's off about this. And it's Angus's wife, Claire, who he's clearly slept with before, but he is not at this point. And he clearly has some guilt about it because Angus is his friend. When he rips himself away from her, he's like, I can't do this.
And he finds Sylvie and Liam outside, and all of a sudden he gets to be a territorial motherfucker.
Well, but so here's the thing. Yes, Liam tries to pull a move on her, and Killian goes over and breaks it up, but he breaks it up because Sylvie was not saying yes, and Liam was pushing.
Correct.
Right.
So I feel like there's a fine line of distinction there. I really have to wonder, though, if Sylvie had been into it more,
Right.
how would it have gone?
I still think Killian would have reacted the way he did.
I disagree. I think it would have been a next morning regret.
Yeah.
I think it would have happened, and then he would have been like, oh, fucked up. And then we would have had a very different story of like, how do I win her back?
Right.
I think he was interested at that point, but he wasn't like deeply invested yet. But when he saw that Sylvie wasn't interested, he's like, oh, well, that goes against the rules. You don't force somebody, which kind of says something to his character.
Right.
Absolutely. It was great.
Yeah.
I mean, she obviously isn't going to fuck up her $10 million. So
No.
she's not going to sleep with him. Whether or not she would have wanted to $10 million aside, but obviously she wouldn't be there if it wasn't for the $10 million.
Right.
So when he drags her back upstairs again for the second time, she's pissed this time. She says to him, Killian, I know everything that's going on down there. Everybody's fucking each other. Why did you stop it? You want to go sleep with whoever you want. Why did you stop it? To the point where she's so angry that he has to pin her to the bed to calm her down.
I believe at that point in time, she's got her hands up and he's holding both of her wrists with one hand. Nothing is hotter than these books that we read describing this guy's hands as being so big they can hold both of your wrists in one hand. Oh, God. Oh, my God.
A couple of months pass. After that party, they don't see each other. We find out that Killian is kind of into probably some interesting stuff, huh?
Oh, yes. When she first looks around her bedroom when she gets there, and she looks under the bed because she dropped something or something. And what's attached to the bed? Fine leather restraints.
Well, the chopped off bit of
yes.
what once was a fine leather restraint.
Excellent point.
Yes. Makes a big difference.
Yeah.
Big differentiator there. Also, what does she find in the library next to Tolstoy and Jane Eyre?
Excellent, yes.
What is it? The Art of Submission. Love it.
Mm-hmm.
And she deep dives and looks in the book, and it's beautifully illustrated, and it shows bondage.
Mm-hmm.
And she starts to wonder if Killian is really into that. She starts to be intrigued. She doesn't think she can do it. She doesn't think she can give up that kind of control. But it doesn't mean she's not scratching her head and going, I wonder if he's into this.
I am all about that big, beautiful library and finding those little tidbits on the shelf because you know that wasn't the only book there.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, like, okay, so they weren't talking for like 6-8 weeks. But her just sitting there in that library with her cup of tea.
Oh, God, what I would give to have somebody that didn't want to talk to me for 6 to 8 weeks. So I could sit in a library.
So it's almost the holidays. Sylvie just feels like she's cooped up in the house. She's like, I can't do this anymore. She's like, I'm going out to town. And all of a sudden starts to feel bad for leaving Killian at the house. She invites him. He says, hell no. I don't like people. Why would I need to be around people? I'm going to stay here is basically his MO. So she goes into town.
She's driven into town.
She's driven into town because she is in a gilded cage, pretty much. Every move that she makes is being watched. There's a driver. She doesn't really go out on her own. I mean, the family's pretty notable in the Highlands. So she goes into town. They have all these Christmas stalls.
And she sees Claire at the market. And Claire runs up to her. She's all cheesy. And she's like, oh my God, how are you? You know, whatever. And they go and they have a beer together. And then Sylvie, and I feel like this is another layer of why I ended up really liking her. At that point, Sylvie realizes this is the moment for her where she gets pushed to make this decision. Because Claire kind of accuses her of not knowing what's good for him.
For Killian,
Killian. And she has this moment of reckoning where she's just like, no, I do know what's good for him. And what's good for him is me. And she gets so aggressive about it. She says to Claire, if you touch my husband again, I'll kill you.
Yeah.
That was the moment where I got really on board with her because I was just like, oh, shit. This woman is such a spitfire. She is so fucking hardcore. She's breaking into houses. She's aggressively threatening this woman. And then she was just like, oh, I think I'm getting more mature in my older age. Like, yeah, I threatened to murder her, but at least I didn't dump the beer in her face. I must be getting so much older and
Wiser,
more sophisticated. Oh, my God. Oh, I loved that scene so much.
She realizes, like, everybody thinks they know what's good for Killian.
Right.
Instead of, like, trying to figure out, like, what's actually going on with Killian. And she spent the time with him.
Because everybody's been doing that to her entire life.
Yes.
So she understands and relates to that and says, no, that's not what he needs. He just needs someone to support him.
Okay, so then, after the badass moment, she leaves. She's feeling powerful. And she needs to get back, and the driver is gone. Her phone, dead. So, like, how the hell is she gonna get home?
And she doesn't know where to go. She's lost. She's in this part of town she doesn't recognize. All the shops are closed because she's a New York City girl and she forgets she can't just go buy a charger. This is like a serious moment of panic.
Yeah.
But that's okay.
Because
Who rolls up on the side of the street?
oh, I don't even picture it as a roll up in my brain. It's like screeching wheels, door opening. You know, like just so angry.
Oh, God, that moment. Oh.
Came to save her, but it's not like all sweet.
No, he's pissed.
No.
He gets out of the car, tells her to get in, screaming and yelling at her. Sylvie can tell that there's something not right about him when they get back on. He's shaking and he is nervous. And she's like, I wonder what's really, he can't be that mad at me.
He was so worried.
He was so worried. And I love it. She's like, I'm not the one that told you to care about me.
Yeah.
Like, I didn't tell you to care about me. And I love that both of them, because they have all this hate for the world, this moment that they both have this reckoning of love for each other comes out in these very aggressive ways. She tells Claire, if you touch my husband again, I'll kill you. He comes at her all pissed off, like he's angry with her for being late and making Peter, the driver, worry.
Bullshit.
Right. So the two of them are in this like rage that they're misplacing, but clearly their bodies know the answer.
When they finally get back to the house, Sylvie storms in. He's following right behind her before the door even closes, and he kisses her on the stairs.
Did you envision it where she was standing like 2 stairs up and
Uh-huh.
he was standing lower
Uh-huh.
so they were eye to eye?
Yes.
And she's like, I didn't tell you to care about me. She like shouts it into his face and
Yeah.
he just grabs her at that moment.
Kisses her,
Yeah.
gets her pants down to her knees,
Yep.
and eats her out on the stairs.
I loved this scene so much. I think I listened to it 3 times. Like the description of like her cold butt on the hardwood
Yeah.
stair,
Uh-huh.
like everything about it, and her inner monologue where she's like, this is wrong. I shouldn't do this. This is going to make everything so complicated in a few months when we have to split up. But fuck it. Fuck it. We've already gone this far. Fuck it. Fuck it.
When it's so good, it makes you forget about $10 million and $10,000.
Right.
Yes.
Right.
Absolutely. After the oral happens on the stairs, Sylvie doesn't say a word to him, goes to her room, cleans up, goes to lay in bed, and can't sleep because she's thinking about this and thinking about this and thinking about this. And in the middle of the night, she gets up, stomps into his room. He's sleeping like a baby, and she wakes him the fuck up and said, this is not the type of relationship we have. And he pins her on the bed and pretty much says, well, why can't we spend a cold winter wrapped up in each other's bodies?
And she says, well, fine.
This is the point where absolutely everything changes. They start to create a sexual relationship. But of course, just like everything else, there's emotion tied into it. And the two of them just really start to fall for each other.
Mm-hmm.
So now, because they're fucking like Easter bunnies all in the 16 rooms of the manor.
You just said they were fucking like Easter bunnies?
Which technically is springtime. Easter bunnies will fuck the most.
I'm dead. Oh my God, I'm dead.
I think
Oh.
now is the perfect time for our sexy stud to read us some smutty
Well-
stuff. What do you think?
For the love of fucking God, would you please?
Here we go.
I take her mouth in a bruising kiss before I bury my hand in her hair and press her forward so she's gripping the headboard again. Aligning my aching cock with her wet core, I tug on her hips and impale her on my cock. When she lets out a breathless cry, I moan loudly along with her. Her ass presses backwards as I fuck her, finding the spot inside her that makes her scream with every thrust. That's it, I grunt. Show me how good that feels. Yes, she replies with a whimper. Don't stop, Killian. Tell me you love me again, Mograi. I love you, she says, her stunning soft curls draped across her back as she hangs her head in ecstasy. Say it again, I grunt, fucking her with more force, still careful not to hurt her. I love you, she screams this time. Unable to keep it in any longer, I tear Sylvie away from the headboard and roll her onto her back so I can pound her into the mattress with my thrusts. Hooking a leg under my arm, I stay right on the spot she loves, watching her expression for a sign that she's close. Come for me, darling, I mutter, fighting the urge to lose it myself. Come for your husband. I'm almost there, she shrieks, her voice tight and high-pitched. Reaching between us, I press my thumb to her clit and help her ride out her climax when it hits. Her hips jerk and her grip tightens, so I keep up my thrusts. She goes breathless, but I don't let her stop.
Mograi. Just pepper that in as much as possible, please.
Yeah.
There's so much good smut in this book. I think
Yeah.
we talked about this. This is not one to read in the lunchroom at
Yeah.
work.
No. But you know what I really found interesting? So she finds the art of submission. And there is a little bit of submission in there where he is acting like a dom, but I really thought there would have been a bigger scene in there.
I wanted so much more of that.
But doesn't he address that? He's like, if you're interested in these things, we'll ease into it. I respect that about him. He's going to take her along the journey at a speed that's appropriate for her.
Give me a whole other erotica book based off of this. Just give me nothing but smut.
Did you notice that this is another one of those books where after he finishes, there's some pushing back
Yep.
in?
Yep.
Yes, I did.
Yep.
I did notice that.
Twice. He did it twice.
I love that Sara Cate actually uses it as a sign of when things aren't okay.
Yeah.
Because there's that one moment when things are not going well and they have sex, and then he doesn't do that.
Yeah.
And Sylvie's like, uh-oh, something's wrong here.
He's just leaving the cum to drip down my body.
Yeah.
Dun
Yeah.
dun. We're not going to go any further with this storyline, but I gotta tell you, for the next 40% of this book, you're going to need a box of tissues.
Yeah.
Because I don't know why this book got to me. Even when I read it again the second time, I either had tears welling up in my eyes or I was choking them fucking back.
I'm like watching both your faces right now and just thinking about it. You're both tearing up.
So I was thinking about it too, because normally I don't go for like basic contemporary fiction. Not that I'm calling this book basic.
No.
This book was far from basic. The reason that this book gets to you so much is because this book is a masterclass in character development.
Yes.
It's the writing.
Oh my fucking God. You were so invested in their romance, and their romance was so sweet and beautiful at the core. I didn't write down a ton of quotes from this book. My favorite fucking quote is when, I can't even remember what's happened, but essentially Killian's running after Sylvie. He's like, I don't care about some stupid fucking contract. I love you with my whole chest. I love you. Don't give me any of that shite about not being your husband because I'm right here and I'm never fucking leaving you. Not like they did, in reference to her parents. I can't.
Do you know, just hearing you say that again gave me goosebumps. This is what made this book for me. The last 40% watches the relationship build and their toxic relationships crumble. And I'm telling you, the end of this book brought me to full-blown tears. I am asking you to read this. I am asking you to then message us. Let us know what you thought about this, because I think out of all the books we've read for this podcast, this is the one that hit me the hottest. And I loved it for that. What is getting me, Lex, right now
Yeah.
is that you just are fucking like an emotionless optometron.
What are you talking about? I'm smiling and laughing and I enjoy it.
Yeah.
Like nothing? This didn't like pull at your heartstrings?
It was a really good read. I'm sorry I'm not like setting up a fan altar to the two characters. Like totally enjoyable. I liked it a lot. I'm just not like, this is the best ever.
Listen, I was crying out of my eyes and my pussy, okay? This book just
yep.
did
Like,
it.
got me.
Oh.
You guys are cute.
Is it that time?
I don't know. Is it the time?
Oh my.
I think it's that time.
Dun, 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 dun.
It's time for
Dishing with the dames. Okay, my friends. One of the scandalous things that happens in this book, when Sylvie and Killian are finally doing the deeds together, is at the New Year's Eve party, when they do something a little dirty in the old aunt's bedroom during the party.
Oh my God. I know how it smells in that room.
I'm picturing lilacs and mothballs.
Oh,
Rose.
Ooh, Rose, yeah.
the question is, have you ever been so hot for the person that you're currently with that you did a sexual act in a family member's house during a family event?
How big of an event?
I guess that's all up to you.
I guess a gathering of 4 or more people is considered an event?
Yeah, we're not talking about like you're doing heavy petting in high school or something in your family home.
I gotta go through the Rolodex. Hold on. It's really long.
I guess that means you go first, Joe.
Okay, I guess so. fuck no to ever doing anything in my family member's home if I want to keep all my appendages connected to my actual body. We grew up in an extremely conservative environment. Yeah, that would never be happening. Have I done it at other places and other people's houses? Yes. Never, never, ever, ever in a million years would I do it at a family member's house.
Did it
No,
make you feel queasy reading that section?
no, because it wasn't my family members I was
Okay.
picturing.
Okay.
If she had wrote my family members in there, I would have thrown up in the bathroom and wondered how you didn't get the evil eye when you walked out that door. Not at a family member's house, maybe at a friend's house at parties. Yeah, been there, done that. Bathrooms are really great for that. Don't do it if someone has one bathroom. You just don't have enough time
Yeah.
before some drunk motherfucker is knocking at the door going, hey, can I get in there?
Agreed. That is a pretty stupid move.
Has your little hamster gone through your Rolodex of sex escapades?
Not quite done yet, but the Rolodex is also getting very hazy. And I think I haven't, but I think there's been a lot of occasions that were very close to that now I'm starting to question my memory, but close, very close. Plenty of escapades. Yeah, but not quite exactly in that scenario.
You know, the fact that you're being so vague and cagey is speaking volumes to me.
I mean, listen, the Rolodex is expansive. Okay. I'm going through all of the scenarios. Actually, it's not a Rolodex that's happening in my brain. It's a script. If this, then that. It's going through but nope, bonk. And then going back to the
Go
beginning.
to page 43.
Yeah.
Gotcha.
Whereas I'm the complete opposite and was betrothed at birth and, have been with my partner since the dinosaurs walked
For
the earth.
743
Yes.
millennia.
Betrothed at birth. Oh my God, you guys are the cutest things that have ever been. But what's your answer to the question, Lex?
Not at a family's person's event
Yeah.
or house.
Yeah.
Sorry, all friends who might be listening to this. Yeah, probably somewhere in your house before.
Yeah.
Sorry.
Uh-huh.
When you see us disappear, don't ask, but we do clean up.
Whew. All right, we've been through a lot today. We didn't even go through the tear-jerking emotional parts of the book.
No, we just went through the other jerking things of the book.
No tears being jerked in this episode. Just
Nice.
other appendages. How about we rate this?
Let's rate it.
I'm really curious because I think I'm getting the feels, Bird, that you and I are aligned. But this cold-hearted snake in the corner over here, I really want to know what the fuck her score
Listen,
is.
usually Lex and I are like at drift compatibility in every other realm in life except for when it comes to book ratings.
Yeah, I know,
Yep.
right? Yeah.
But that's what makes it interesting.
I know.
Okay.
And Joey and I are the exact opposite.
I know. We're compatible in nothing, but our book feels are aligning.
And our ability to work together
Oh,
in a
well, yeah.
professional setting.
Because we are the
Oh.
yin to each other's yang.
Aww.
Right?
Okay, let's do it.
Let's start with the smut factor. You can give this anywhere from 1 to 5 raindrops. Now,
5.
motherfucker, I didn't even call on you. And you just want
Raindrops.
to blurt your score out there.
I just couldn't handle it. I couldn't handle the suspense.
Says the girl who was like,
Wow.
where's my BDSM in this book?
Wow.
Listen, even without all the BDSM that I would have really loved, this book was still a 5 for me because it still had just enough, but it was also, again, because of the chemistry.
Yes,
And
yes.
the writing was so good.
Mhm.
5.
Lex, how schmutty was this book for you?
It was a 4.
What?
Yes. She got a hand on the throat like once, and it was very light.
Yeah.
So why would it be a 5?
It didn't hit her kink threshold.
Yeah.
It's a 4 because I really like the characters, but I wasn't in love with the characters. You guys are all about killing and you're all about Sylvie, and that's great. They'd be my friends.
I knew you weren't going to like Sylvie from chapter 1.
I do like her. I just don't love her.
Yeah.
So it's a 4 because, like, the sex is steamy. It's enjoyable. I love the way Sara Cate writes it. I wasn't, like, self-correcting anything because that's how I read things.
Oh,
I'm always
absolutely.
rewriting things as I go. I'm very sorry to all the authors we read. It's just my brain. It's not you. It's me.
I do the same thing.
That is a beautiful, beautiful statement. It's not you. It's me. Keep writing.
Yes.
And that's just it. The writing here is mwah. So that made the sex really great.
Do me a favor. I need you to put your hands on your socks and hold on to them. I'm giving this book a 3.
Really?
Yeah.
Really?
So A, Sara Cate has been hyped up to me by so many people. Some of our reader friends who keep sending us these recommendations to put on our list to choose from. Talk about her other series, how dirty and kinky it is. Okay, that's a small factor. I will tell you, to get my hair to stand on end, Killian was dominant, but he wasn't as dominant as I would have liked him in this book.
That's true.
Right? There are times you can flex. Like, I'm not looking for a guy to dominate every sexual situation. He, on the outside, was strong and brooding and an unhappy motherfucking bastard. And he really turned into a gigantic mush in this book for her. That doesn't mean you can't be my alpha in the bedroom. So for me, I think that component was missing a little bit. As hot as he was, I would have liked the sex scenes to be a tad bit more assertive for my liking. From what I've heard she's done, this may be a little bit on the softer side. So that being said, only the smut got a 3. Moving on to the romance. You can give this anywhere from 1 to 5 roses. Birdie, don't you fucking blurt shit out. Lex. Lex, you're going to go first this time before
Did you feel
Birdie.
me?
Yes, I could see your face all of a sudden, like, your mouth forming the number.
Hey, Joey,
Yeah.
I defer to Birdie. Go ahead.
Go. Fuck you. It's my episode. Lex, go the fuck first.
You can't make me.
You know what? We got to stop giving the girl the penicillin. All right.
Oh.
Lex, for romance, 1 to 5 roses. Can you fucking give your score, please?
The more you do it, the more I just
know,
dig
the
my
more
heels
fucking-
in.
I know. Lex looking at me. She has the look in her eyes of a toddler.
Yes, she does. She's having her tantrum. So this is what we're going to do. You're going to give your score. I'm going to give my score, and I'm not going to ask her again. She forgets I'm a stubborn mule here.
Did anyone ever think I was going to give anything other than a 5 for romance for this book?
You better not. I would
This book
shanked you under
is
the table.
5, 5, 5. Like, see, here's the thing. When you both were talking about your scores for the smut, I was kind of like, maybe it's not a 5. Like, yeah, maybe I could be convinced there to be a little bit less. But I was like, no, I'm going to stick with my original score. But, like, maybe I could be convinced it's maybe a 4.5. And then I was like, but romance? No, there's no swaying me. It is a 5. It's almost a 6. I loved the romance so much for this book.
But why does anybody have to convince you about what you feel? That's why
No.
you read the book on your own. You write your score down. Yes, sometimes we give valid points that maybe you didn't remember throughout the storyline, or
That's
you
what
see a
I'm-
different POV.
Yes.
But if that got you hot and bothered, be fucking hot and bothered and give it a 5. For you, I'm noticing the key is the components.
Yes.
It's all one big picture. When you love it, you love it.
Yeah.
Yeah. It is all one big
Yeah.
picture, for sure. 5 for the romance. Like, this brought tears to my eyes so many times. I always thought that I didn't want to read books that made me cry because I'm like,
Really?
yeah, totally. Because I'm like, oh, but I already have enough to cry about in real life. Thinking that tears were only going to be happening because I was going to be sad
Oh.
and not
Oh.
Happy
because
tears.
of-
Happy tears are the best tears.
romance
Yeah,
tears.
yeah.
It's a very different kind of tears, and I have never truly experienced it as much as I have with this book.
That's so cool.
Yeah.
Did you think that when we approached you about this whole situation and doing this, that you were going to crack open a book that was going to make you feel that way?
No.
That's so cool. This was my jam. I love the main characters. I love the writing. I love the banter. I love the storyline. I love the connection. I was an emotional hot fucking mess. Clearly, we know I'm a sap, but this brought it to like the umpteenth level that even after reading it the second time, knowing what the fuck was going to happen in the book, I still got choked up and still had watery eyes. This book just did something to me. It's a 5 all the way.
She jumped the line in front of you, Lex.
No, she said she was going to
No.
do that.
Oh,
and then
she
she was
did?
going
Yeah.
to skip me.
I'm
Oh,
going to skip her completely for the
Oh,
rest of the episode.
I see. Okay.
Do you want to play with the adults now, Lex? I love you, by the way. I love you.
Oh, I love getting you so ramped
I know,
up.
and
It's
you just
so good.
I have so many hills to die on today alone.
I know. This is just good.
Yeah.
Here, have a little more penicillin.
I need a cure.
I knew we could find you something Scotchy that you would like.
Yeah.
She didn't break out into Italian yet, so.
I give it a 4 for romance, too.
Oh, nice.
Because it's super romantic. I love hearing the inner monologues and watching somebody just like fight the feeling. That is the part that I really like. And I do enjoy it when we get to see both sides. And I think that's something very specific to romance writing. It's where I've seen it the most.
Yes.
And yes, we mostly have female authors writing a male perspective, so it's fantasy. Whatever. I want to believe this is what's going on in
Yeah.
men's brains.
Yep.
Yeah.
And that's the part of this that I really liked. And what I love the point where you see her wanting to see what's best for him. Like, she doesn't think that this can happen. She doesn't think that they can be in love together, but ultimately she wants him to get better in his life. That's what I find so romantic. And I don't want to ruin the ending, so I'm not going to say what happens at the ending. And I know you guys were crying at that.
Yeah.
And I'm like, oh, that's sweet. And for me, the more romantic part was the taking care of the partner.
Yes.
We didn't even talk about when she got sick.
I know.
Oh my God, and he had to take care of her. And he didn't know what to do when he was panicking. That was just like I
cute.
was fucking crying.
So cute.
It's very sweet.
Lex, do you think you landed at a 4 because you didn't necessarily fall in love with these characters? You like them.
Yeah, I like them. But like, I'm not ready to move in with Killian. I'm not ready to move in with Sylvia or be either of them. Do I want to go get myself a big Scottish man in a beautiful estate? Uh-huh. Do I want that one? No.
Well, there's no room in Barclay Manor for you after Killian and I are together.
Yeah,
Because I'm going to magically
I'll
give
go
him
visit you.
85,000 children
But
to fill up every bedroom.
God. You say that and it just makes me shudder.
Scottish Italian babies, can you imagine? And now.
I want to be an auntie. I just never wanted to have 8,000 children. So
Yeah. Well, I have time. I'm only 29. All right, moving on to the plot. You can give this anywhere from 1 to 5 storybooks. Lex, my love, how many storybooks are you giving this?
3. I like how you're like, all right.
Yeah, I getcha.
I knew you were coming up with that. Yeah, I really liked the story. It was fun. The way she wrote the story elevated the plot line. The plot line itself is very like romantic comedy kind of plot line. The way she wrote it is what really made me like the writing. I'm also like, yeah, this was a fun romance book. What are we reading next?
Bird.
I was so thrilled to read this book for a second time. I almost couldn't wait to go back to read it again because I was so interested to understand again because it was such a nuanced book. It's about like nothing. Like there's no fantastical characters. There's no different world. There's no like super wild, crazy things happening in the plot. There's no mafia. There's no sport. Like, it's just people.
And that's what it is. The damaged human component
Yes.
in this is the plot.
And that's why I'm giving it a 5.
Wow.
Because I couldn't believe that something that is at its core, You are in one house with two people.
Mhm.
And somehow I could not wait to read this book again. That's a 5 to me. I also do think, to top it all off, the fact that the cover was so pretty and it kept tantalizing me in my library, in my phone. I'm looking down and I'm like, oh, but it's so pretty. I can't wait to go back. That was the wonderful icing flower on top of my cake.
Joey?
So, this is going to be interesting. Let me preface it by saying I loved the story of what the characters have been through together. I loved watching them grow and help and develop for each other. That was a beautiful component for me. I think starting with the fantastical of this fucking would never happen in real life kind of washed out the beauty of the brokenness and damagedness and growing and developing together kind of out. So that lands me story-wise at a 3.75. I will tell you, this is book 1 out of a series. I'm going to continue to read the series because the story was solid, but I think starting with such a far-fetched premise and then moving into something so real in the book kind of threw me for a loop. So 3.75.
Totally.
Yeah.
Which is why I couldn't fucking believe that this super fucking pragmatic person, couldn't wait to read a billionaire Scot romance again?
I didn't feel the lean was so heavy on billionaire, which actually made me feel better about the book.
Well, true, but like the fact that I was so excited to read a book about two people who have no jobs. It also has just proven to me the fact that I have truly worked through my literary trauma.
I love it.
And I have just accepted myself.
Yeah.
Because here's the thing. The quote on the cover of the book is, Killian Barclay is a grumpy Scottish billionaire who hates me, and now I'm his wife.
Oh, my dream man.
Looked at the cover. If it wasn't for the fact that the cover was so damn cute, I would have been like, fucking Joey. I can't fucking believe you're making me read this goddamn shit. Get some better taste in your head, woman. I know.
I know.
See, I come in real harsh in my head. I was just like, this is fucking trash. And
then
now
you
I couldn't wait to read
love
it again.
Yeah.
So there you go. That's why.
I love when anybody in life uncovers treasure from trash.
Yes.
All right, this is it. Overall score. How did you feel about the book? You can give this anywhere from 1 to 5 Eggamaweggy plants. I got to start with you, Bird.
Obviously, I'm giving it a 5.
Love it.
I loved it. End to end. Can't wait to read more. I don't know if I really need to read the series because I'm mostly just invested in their relationship. I don't know if I really give a shit enough about the brothers, but I will definitely read more of Sara Cate, and hearing that her other series is supposed to be even smuttier, I will definitely go that direction for sure.
Well, now that Sara Cate has been read this season and some of the other books are off the list, I'll let you know once I read them and how they are.
Okay, great.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Lex, 1 to 5 Eggama plants. What did you think?
I'm at a 3.5. Super solid read. Fun. It's not like I'm going, give me back my time. Absolutely not. I liked it. There are people I know who will really love this book, so I'll recommend it to them and put it on their list. Thanks for sharing it with me because I wouldn't have picked it on my own, and I really enjoyed the ride. But it's just a very solid 3.5 for me. I really liked the writing, though, so I'm thinking maybe another one of Sara Cate's books might be more up my alley.
Yeah.
So I'm totally going to give her another shot.
I am landing at a 4. I love this book. I thought it was great. It brought me through an emotional ride. I love the characters. I love the writing style. But I gotta tell you, I don't need another fucking author to go down the rabbit hole and freebase all their books. I currently have 100 purchased audiobooks in my library that I need to read. I don't need any more right now.
Do you sleep? I'm just curious.
And it's funny because everybody's like, ugh, I can't believe, like, you do audiobooks and you don't read books.
Fuck those people.
It's so that I can get it down my gullet because I am in the shower and I'm listening to my audiobook. I am putting on my makeup. I am in the car. I'm listening to my audiobook. I'm driving over here. I'm at the grocery store. That's the way I'm able to get through as many books as I'm able to get through. Some people have the television on in the background. I've got my audiobook going on.
Yeah.
So it's just how I pass my time. But no more authors. Like, we have to find books that we just don't like. So I think that's a wrap for another episode. If you like the content you heard today, please make sure you subscribe to our Patreon page. Visit us at the Lusty Library Podcast on Facebook and Instagram, or now the Lusty Library Pod on Blue Sky.
Ooh, that's exciting. And if you don't want to miss a second of our arguments, please come on down, follow us on Apple, Spotify, YouTube, and that way you'll get notified when new episodes come out. Yay! Thanks, everybody.
If you're at all like Birdie and don't like notifications coming out of your apps because she's a weirdo, make sure you go to the lustylibrarypodcast.com and sign up for our newsletter. You go to the main page, scroll all the way down the bottom.
Go all the way with us, folks.
Yeah, and click and subscribe to get notified of drink recipes and new episodes right to your inbox.
And do you know what we really love? We love hearing from you. Please go on to those podcast listening platforms and give us some stars to glitter for us to shine. And what we love even more, give us a review. We want to know how we're doing. Don't know how to? No excuses, my friends. Come on, go over to the lustylibrarypodcast.com. Go under our episodes page. There's our how-tos for every single platform.
As always, we greatly thank you for listening, and we look forward to seeing you next time. Thank you for flying the Lusty Library Podcast Airline. Bye!